One of the biggest mistakes that I see coaches make is creating a normal coaching package and then simply putting the word burnout in front of it or all over their LinkedIn headline. Because burnout coaching isn't ordinary coaching with a different label or a different title. It has to be designed differently from the ground up. Because as we already know, right, burnout isn't a mindset problem. Burnout affects the nervous system, the body, the brain, decision making, confidence, energy, memory, judgment, capacity, all of those things. And so your coaching package has to reflect that. So the first thing that I'd encourage you to think about is this, right? I want you to create the package for the client, not for your income. And I know that's probably not what most business coaches will tell you, but burnout coaching isn't about squeezing everyone into exactly the same 6-session package just because it's easy to sell or promote or it allows you to be consistent in your marketing. Some of your clients are going to be approaching burnout. Others will have already crashed. Some will still be working. Some of them are likely to have been signed off for months. Some of your clients are going to need prevention, and some of your clients will be coming through and they will be in need of recovery. Those people are not the same client. Even one person is not going to be the same or need the same thing pre-burnout versus post-burnout. So why would they all need exactly the same package? The second thing that I want you to think about is the pace. Burnout coaching should be slower, deliberately slower by design, and not because you're dragging things out, not because you're time wasting, not because you just want to be able to charge more, although you could if you wanted to, but it's because that's what effective burnout coaching requires. Because before you can work on goals or performance or habits or strategy, you have to work on state and safety. If a client's nervous system doesn't feel safe, they are not in the best position to make good decisions, think clearly, or create lasting change. And even in some instances, if burnout has really taken hold, they're not going to be able to access the part of their brain that allows them to make decisions quickly. Their cognitive processing, by definition, is going to be slower. You can't rush that process, and really, you shouldn't be trying. The third thing that I'd encourage you to consider is the structure of your sessions. Because again, burnout coaching isn't something that you should just squeeze into the 1 hour that they've managed to save for lunch, right? I want you to think about it. Your clients have likely spent all morning firefighting, right? They've agreed that they're going to fit this session in with you. They squeeze it in, maybe they're turning up late, they're not completely with it, they're not totally present, but they jump into the coaching session, and then immediately after that session, they're straight back into the meetings. Where's the space for them to arrive? Where's the space for them to focus on the now? Where's the time to reflect? Where's the opportunity to implement anything that you've discussed? So if coaching is crammed into the busiest hour of their day, it's very unlikely that it's going to have the impact that you or your client are hoping for. When I first started my coaching almost 15 years ago now, my sessions were typically an hour to 90 minutes. But as I began working with more and more clients that were on the verge of or coming through the other side of burnout, something became really obvious. And that was that the work, the coaching, the client needed more space. And so my sessions became longer. The coaching became longer. And today I work almost exclusively with C-suite leaders, founders, and boards. Again, that's by design. It also allows me to focus my time and attention on building the Burnout Academy, on training Burnout-Informed coaches and master burnout coaches. Now, I've now coached more than 700 leaders through burnout over the last 12 years. And what I have seen time and time again is that when we slow the coaching down deliberately, our clients make deeper, more sustainable progress. Right? So remember this, there isn't one burnout coaching package, and there shouldn't be. Right? I want you to ask yourself when you're looking at your design, Is this client pre-burnout, where we're preventing further decline? Or are they post-burnout, where we're supporting recovery? Because their energy, their judgment, their confidence, their self-belief, their capacity, all of those things, including their decision making, are going to be completely different depending on whether they are pre-burnout or post-burnout. And your client needs the right level of support at the right time. Your coaching needs to reflect that. So I don't want you building packages around quick wins or rapid transformation. And I know that this can be difficult, right? Particularly if if you are working with a business coach, right? You want growth, you want clients, you want to be able to keep working with people. If you're doing this work, hopefully you're doing this work because you genuinely want to create the change for your clients. And I get that, we've all been kind of sold at some point, haven't we? How quick and easy it is to build a coaching practice, to build a successful coaching practice. And the reality is that it isn't. But burnout coaching isn't about faster, more, I don't know, just faster, quicker, bigger, better results. Burnout coaching has to be deliberately slower. You need to build your packages around what your clients actually need. So sometimes that is going to mean more flexibility. Sometimes that is going to mean longer sessions. Sometimes it is going to mean changing the pace as the recovery progresses. And that's good coaching. That's what's going to make the difference for you. That's what's going to set you apart from all of the other coaches that are out there with coaching packages with burnout added on. If you genuinely want to be doing this work, you have to show the difference. You have to be the difference. And the difference in effective burnout coaching is deliberate by design. It is slower. It is more client focused. It is more state and safety focused before we start to get into self and strategy. Now, if you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you here. So do hit that button. And if you're wondering whether you are actually equipped to coach clients experiencing burnout safely and effectively, then click the link in the description below. You will find out in under 3 minutes if you have got what it takes to be coaching burnout safely. But for now, I will say goodbye and I'll see you in the next video.